Hello everyone, Matthew Durr here. I'm going to be taking a quick look at Nikon's 105mm Micro-NIKKOR f2.8 AIS. Now, I'm not going to bore you with any of this lens's history. What I want to focus on in this video is how the lens looks and feels in the hand, so you all can get a better idea of how it may shoot, how it may focus, how the aperture may go, and just basically how it might be used in your shooting scenarios. So, as you can see here, the barrel here, the focus ring is pretty much the entire lens when it's set to infinity. As you extend it further, the overall length of the lens increases, increasing here and here. And it's not exactly compact, but then again, macro lenses need to be long to be able to focus close regardless. So that's not too much to complain about. Focus is really smooth, it's buttery throughout the entire range. It's heavily damped, which isn't a good thing for trying to do fast action focusing, but it's a godsend for accurate manual focusing when you're wanting to get stuff just pinpoint critical. One thing I really like about this lens is the focus drag screw. You can see here when you tighten it, if you tighten it all the way, it almost acts like a focus lock that you can't hardly turn the ring at all. This will make it really easy for when you're doing macro up close and you're needing to adjust some other camera settings and you want to make sure that your focus point won't change. You can always just unscrew it. You can't take it out, but you can unscrew it to where it's not affecting the actual focusing. So it's just an option you want if you need it. But for the times that you do need it, it's really great. I love it. Another thing, this uses Nikon's standard 52mm filters. You can see the size of the front element there. You can see all the multiple reflections, seeing all the multi-coating. And it's pretty fast. I'm used to, as many know, the 105mm f1.8, but you know, f2.8, it's just about a stop and a third slower, and it still gives great depth of field separation for when you need it. And besides, in macro, you're going to want to be stopping down pretty heavily to at least f8 regardless, so the maximum aperture isn't completely necessary. I believe this lens's previous iteration had a maximum aperture of f4. So one thing I forgot to point out here, this little snap-on cap is pretty good. It was standard with all of Nikon's lenses. The only problem is that when you use this lens's dedicated HS14 hood and you attach it like so, you can no longer put this cap inside of there. No one has fingers that are thin enough to be able to fit inside there. So what I want you to do, if you get this lens with this basic cap, I want you to toss it and go buy yourself one of these snap type lens caps. They don't have to be Nikon brand. This one's an off brand. Actually forget the brand off the top of my head, but I've bought them for nearly all of my Nikon lenses so I can use them with the hood always attached. Let me show you how this works. These pinch types, you can take them here and keep your fingers pretty narrow and go right in to where the hood is. And you can leave the hood permanently attached to make it easier whenever you have it in your bag, and there's nothing to worry about. So I would definitely recommend doing that. Now this lens has also a dedicated PN11 extension tube. This is a 52.5mm extension tube. Really, this thing is just a solid piece of metal. I mean, as is the lens as well. I mean, everything that Nikon AIS lenses have made, I mean, you're gonna break, I've said this before, you're gonna break whatever this thing hits if you ever drop it, let alone having the lens really have much damage. So anyway, a couple of neat features. It's got the auto aperture for if you use film SLR cameras, but for us, if you use mirrorless cameras, that's no big deal. Metal mount, you know, metal double mount actually. And it's got a movable tripod socket that clicks at every 90 degrees to make it easier to find level ground. And it locks in just like how you'd expect. And when you attach it, see if I can get it here, increases the overall length of the entire lens pretty substantially. With the magnification that the PN11 provides, getting to 1 to 0.88 magnification, you're going to want to always be on a tripod, especially if you're not using a flash or you're just in low light. because the shutter speeds necessary once you get the lens stopped down to where you have enough depth of field are just absolutely way too slow for anyone to reasonably handhold. So that's this lens in a nutshell. You read on the review for how it actually performs, but this is definitely one of my favorite lenses that I've used in a while, mostly because it not only provides great macro use, which you expect one of those to do, labeled a macro. Focus is close, pretty obvious there. But it also is great at pretty much any focus distance. And that's important for general photography or portraits or anything you can come up with. And I'll talk about that more in the review, but for now, that's all for this video, and have a great day.